Search and rescue operations are underway in the state following Hurricane Milton.
And the storm brought extensive damage to our area. It's now blamed for at least 5 deaths.
We're now getting a better look at the destruction left behind. This is drone footage of the extensive damage in Martin County, neighborhood after neighborhood destroyed.
And crews there are also assessing damage to Murray Middle School. Now, this is in Stewart. You can see the roof ripped off, the band and chorus room.
A massive hangar used by the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office also destroyed. They used this structure for emergency vehicles, but a tornado demolished the 10,000-foot facility, and you can see parts of the building fell on the vehicles underneath, even a boat. Dozens of tornado warnings were issued across our area. CBS 12 News and our viewers capturing the moments live. This shows the tornadoes in Wellington and Fort Pierce.
And damage is felt all across the state of Florida. You could see here the roof was completely blown off the Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. Many Florida counties now assessing the damage tonight.
Tonight, we have live team coverage. Our reporters are standing by with the latest in surrounding areas. CBS 12's Danny Travis joins us live on the west coast of the state. But first, let's get out to Jim Grimes with the latest in Martin County. Jim?
Yeah, Liz, Luli, I got to tell you, I mean, we've surveyed a lot of our area, the surrounding counties. This particular neighborhood in Martin County, this is probably one of the worst that I have seen. It is just devastating to see home after home with some type of damage, and some of them, if you take a look behind me, look like that. It looks like a bomb went off inside. It's hard to imagine, but that is what was left from this home. Search and rescue crews had to go in there. They combed through the debris to make sure nobody was killed inside. They say they're about 98% done with that search part of this job, going house to house, making sure nobody is inside the rubble. That's just how bad it is over here. You showed Murray Middle School. That's just a few blocks from where I'm standing. It had the roof torn off, the band hall exposed. They lost a lot of the instruments and things like that. Some of the kids driving their bikes through the neighborhood, they've been all over the place. They're telling me just how bad it is. But I've got to tell you, a lot of these people in this neighborhood are blue-collar workers. These are hardworking people. Some of them tell me they have not been able to afford homeowners insurance. And the big question now is what's going to happen with them. And the community response has been overwhelming. People will be coming from all over just to chip in and help out, and they are putting the pieces back together pretty quickly out here, I got to say. They've cleared most of the debris and the rubble. I want to bring in our John Evanson, CBS 12's John Evanson, who was out here last night when this storm hit. John, the neighborhood tells me that around 5:45, the lights started to flicker, and that's when the tornado hit. What are you hearing?
The common thing I hear is you hear like what sounds like 10 freight trains. The whole house shakes, and then everyone just prayed at that point, because you can see I was a couple streets over when we arrived about an hour after that. You could see the destruction a few houses over, but you could see the path. Like, some of these houses are completely untouched, and then you can see how the path of the tornado came through here behind us, and it was just a matter of just praying that it did not destroy your home or damage your home. And, you know, when I arrived last night, everyone was still shell-shocked. Everyone was still trying to figure out what had just happened. But today, as I found out, of course, this is when the cleanup began.
People need to take this stuff serious, man. I mean, I took it serious. I thought I was all ready. I was ready for everything.
Tom Perusi had hunkered down in his Port Salerno home with his wife, preparing for a hurricane. Instead, a twister narrowly missed his house and toppled his boat upside down like a toy.
How it jumped, I just didn't even know how it did it. How could it come from back that way, jump over from here, destroy everything in the back there, not hit the house and go back through there? Matter of fact, he blew out his windows over there.
His neighbors across the street took a direct hit from the tornado. Everyone coming together today to lend a helping hand in the aftermath.
It's really everybody just like dropping everything and, you know, like get to work.
When people are in need, you know, if my house is fine, I'm going to come help my neighbor, period, end of the day.
Some felt more lucky than others. A few neighborhoods over, Southeast Catherine Avenue was absolutely decimated. Houses completely destroyed.
I thought my neighbors were dead.
Terry Root was still traumatized today from what she heard as she was taking cover in her home last night, only to witness her entire street decimated when she walked out of her house once the twister had passed through.
I sat there like I couldn't even move. And then I had to go, there's people in the house. Post-traumatic syndrome doesn't even fit. I don't even want to be here for another one.
We've heard a lot of people describe over the past 24 hours the destruction that these tornadoes have left in their path, often describing these neighborhoods as looking like war zones. And to further that premise, the National Guard was called in from Melbourne to help clean up this destruction.
The National Guard's here. Everybody is working together to get it handled.
We got a lot of people out here doing what we can, but it's going to take some time. You know, there's some people that lost everything last night, and I can't even fathom that.
Let me say something. That is tough to listen to, yeah.
Yeah, but the positive point of it, as you saw there, is in that one neighborhood with the flipped over boat, all of those neighbors were telling me that they never really knew each other before. They would see each other at Publix, at the gas pump. They all, would pass each other, say hello when they came home from work. But today's the day they all started to get to know each other, and they kicked into action last night. That's a huge positive to see, that when something terrible like this happens, right away, the people who live near you, who you might not even know, are the ones who come to your aid, and everyone kind of comes together.
We're going to be hearing more from John a little later in our newscast. Just to the south of us over in Palm Beach County, the devastation there is equally as bad. It just depends where you look. These tornadoes came down fast and furious within that just short span of time. We have some drone footage we want to show you right now. This is over in Palm Beach Gardens. It shows some of the debris that's scattered across the streets. The roofs were destroyed, cars flipped over in the front yards. This is a brand new development called Avenir. It's just off of North Lake, just west of I-95. And that's where we find CBS 12's Katie Benty tonight, who got a chance to go out there and assess the damage and talk to neighbors who are wondering what they're going to do next.
Jim, we're in the Regency neighborhood in Avenir, and you can see the clear line of destruction from where a tornado ran through this neighborhood. Now, the small silver lining here is a lot of these houses were still vacant, still under construction, but we did speak to one couple who just closed on their house 6 days ago. That house right there with the silver Lexus outside, you can still see the hole in their roof from when one of these giant dumpsters fell on it.
And it was like in the movies, the winds were going, things were, swirling. There were no cows up there, but everything else was going. So we ran into the bathroom over here, which does not have glass. And it worked. We came out unscathed.
That really is the biggest blessing here, the fact that there was no loss of life. And if you look at these homes, it looks like there could have been tonight. Reporting live in Palm Beach Gardens, I'm Katie Benty, CBS 12 News.
All right, turning now to weather. Vitas, you have some new information on the tornado Michael, the new tornado information that went through Avenir.
Yeah, that's right, guys. It looks like the National Weather Service is out there inspecting the Avenir community, and they did come up with an EF rating. So let's take a look at this. Now, this is just one of several sites that they're going to have to inspect over the next several days, but they've come up with an EF3 rating. We had talked about this, and that was 140-mile-per-hour peak winds in the Avenir community. The reason they think this is because there's segments of concrete block walls and missing, and also large roof sections missing as well, with considerable structural damage in that community. This is a long track tornado. They're going to have to do a multi-day survey, and some of this thing could change, but they're going to have to take a while to figure out the path length and the width and all that. But again, an EF3 on that enhanced Fajita scale is right in the middle with severe damage, with winds anywhere from 136 to 165. And again, so far, they think the peak winds there were 140 miles an hour. And all these tornadoes occurred before Milton made landfall, with several outer rain bands stretching from about 9:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night. We had some 126 tornado warnings across the state, stretching from the Daytona Beach area down to all of the Treasure Coast and mostly in western parts of Palm Beach County. And after it made landfall, that's when we had the gusty winds. We had wind gusts of 72 at Palm Beach International, 66 in Lake Okeechobee, and North Palm Airport, 92 there off the Beeline Highway. It looks like the Treasure Coast, you had all the rainfall with Winter Beach recording over 10 inches, Sebastian 7.2, and Palm Beach International much less in the eastern sections of the county.
Thank you, Michael. And beyond Palm Beach County, we are learning that there are 5 confirmed deaths in St. Lucie County. The area of concern is the Spanish Lakes Country Club in Fort Pierce. Governor Ron DeSantis was in that area this morning. Here's what he had to say.
I think there was probably more tornado watches on this storm than anyone I can remember. You see a little bit of the damage here. Then, of course, down the road in the country club, what are you up to? You have 5 confirmed fatalities?
We have 5 fatalities.
So, this is really just, and it's a tragic thing because it's not like, oh, they should have evacuated. What do you do when you have a tornado? You kind of duck and cover. Happens so quickly. Those things are really, really strong and powerful.
And over in Wellington, a lot of damage after a tornado touched down there. Now, this is video of that tornado moving through the area yesterday evening. It was on the ground for a long time and causing a lot of destruction.
And you can see the extent of that damage here. This is new video from Palm Beach County Fire Rescue showing crews digging through the rubble in some Wellington neighborhoods. The firefighters are trying to help families find personal items. Our Victoria de Cardenas spoke with one mother who was putting up her hurricane shutters when she saw the tornado coming straight for her. Victoria.
Yeah, Liz, Megan Shirley had just a few seconds to get to safety after she saw what was forming in her backyard. And today, her and her family are lucky to be alive. And here's why. Part of her roof is missing today, and the inside looks like a war zone. But she, her best friend, the 4 kids, and the dog took shelter in a bathroom until it was all over.
I was outside when the tornado was coming. I was actually back there shuttering. So that's where my son and I were when it happened. And I ran in through this, and she, my best friend, was sitting right here where the impaled glass on the wall is.
Wellington mom Megan Shirley is still trying to come to grips with how close her and her family came to dying when a tornado tore through her home at the corner of Edgefield Road and Meadowwood Drive. The damage to her house is obvious from down the block, but the destruction inside is worse.
So be careful. There's lots of glass. So just obviously come in at your own discretion.
It looks like a war zone.
So there was a separate room in the back, the red. You can see the delineation of the colors. And then the front part of the room was my bedroom.
Glass, toys, pieces of furniture are everywhere. Her walls are bent. And Megan tells me this all happened in less than a minute. When Megan got home from work Wednesday, she decided to go ahead and put up her shutters. That's when she heard a noise she will never forget.
It's a low drumming sound, and it does sound to an extent like a train. And then the pressure change, the only way I can describe it is you feel like you're in a vacuum. Your ears are popping, your ears are hurting.
Born in Mississippi, Megan is no stranger to tornadoes. So she shoved her best friend, their 4 kids, and the dog into this small hallway bathroom just in time.
As soon as we closed the door to the bathroom, it hit. And we actually thought we were okay because the bathroom itself was intact. And as everything is calming down, we look down, we see a bunch of glass. We're trying to figure out where it came from. And we opened the door, and I looked up to what is supposed to be a hallway, and there was sunlight.
From floor to ceiling, nothing was spared. Even her hurricane-proof windows blew out, but her family is safe.
It's just stuff. Like, yeah, it sucks. And my kids are gonna have a new normal, and we're gonna have a different place to live for a while, and there will be transitions.
For now, with the help of volunteers from the Wellington High School football team, she's cleaning up and collecting a few precious mementos.
Somebody found that for me. I was able to get a few odds and ends that are just super important for us, and try to keep the things that we can that remind us of the old normal.
And for now, Megan and her family are staying with friends. And of course, her next step is to find somewhere to live until they can get this house livable again. But I want to tell you about the neighbors here, because her house wasn't the only one that was hit. It was just the one with the most significant damage. You can see here, this is all of the debris that some of the Wellington football team helped pick up and move out of the house so she can move her way freely in the house. Just across the street, we see some missing shingles on this house, on their roof. They were boarded up. So everything looks okay from here. But all day we've had lawn care services, people taking pictures of Megan's house. I mean, it's incredible to see, and incredible to see that it was just her house. We've got another one just off camera here that is fully tented as they sort of work through the debris. But very scary moments. Like we said, she only had seconds to get her family to safety, and thank God that she did. For now, reporting live in Wellington, Victoria DeCardenas, CBS 12 News.
And Victoria, that tornado that went through Wellington may very well be the same one that went through Loxahatchee and damaged a home. You can see here the whole backyard of that home is damaged. Look at that.
Yeah,
you can see just it looks like the screen came down.
All that debris in the pool. I mean, this is just some of the stuff that we saw all throughout that area, Liz. Last night I was there in Wellington too. Very similar scene out there.
Yeah, uprooted trees and throughout the whole community. You can see our viewers sent us these photos from the Binks Estate neighborhood where you were last night, Luli. If you have some damage, photos, video that you want to share, you can chime in. Just scan the QR code to get started.